This is the largest egg in the world. It resides in our paleontology collection here at the museum because it is something that's extinct and it's fairly old. My name's John Bates. I'm an associate curator of birds. I curate one of the largest bird collections in the world. Our egg collection has about 60,000 total eggs. These collections have just this incredible baseline data on the breeding biology of birds from various parts of the world. This is an egg of an elephant bird, which is a bird that lived in Madagascar up until about 600 to 700 years ago. These birds were bigger than an ostrich by about a meter or so and twice as wide as an ostrich. They were probably these incredible docile animals. They'd evolved in a place where they literally had no predators, and so they had laid 1 to 2 eggs at a time because they could afford to invest all of that in these few chicks, and that's probably one of the reasons why they're extinct today. Humans arrived in Madagascar, and these elephant birds were just completely unprepared to deal with the fact that this incredible predator had showed up there. They went extinct fairly quickly after that, and one of the reasons for it is probably the fact that they were pretty good eating. You can get an awful lot of omelets out of this. This egg didn't hatch. That left it in a really pristine state. The eggshells of these birds are really thick, and so it's not that surprising that you would actually have a few out there that look just like this. A lot of smaller birds are going to be much more fragile, and you wouldn't be able to find something like that. This egg will probably be on the order of 600 to 700 years old. It's just amazing to have legacy of these birds in the form of these eggs to be able to understand some aspects of their natural history. When you have big series of eggs, you can start asking what happens with change over time. So for instance, birds like peregrine falcons and bald eagles were declining in numbers precipitously across the eastern US. Biologists realized that females were laying eggs, and when they were trying to incubate them, the eggs would crack. And so one of the ideas they came up with was to go into collections, and if you look at a set of eggs collected way before DDT was being used, biologists realized in areas where DDT was being used, eggshells were dramatically thinner. That was one of the pieces of evidence that allowed them to convince people that we should ban DDT. And it's an incredible conservation success story because these egg collectors that collected eggs of birds like bald eagles and peregrine falcons back in the 1890s and early 1900s had no idea that 50 to 60 years later, their eggs would be used to argue for the preservation of the species in a way that's actually worked.